All right, here we are. Episode 16, we're about to begin. I've got Rachel tonight, I've got Dane, I've got Patrick. How you doing, Kyle?
We're doing okay, aside from the left hand being mangled. Hey guys, I'm Kyle. I played Dane, the human fighter, soldier, refugee from last wall. He got a bit of a troubled past. We'll be getting into here shortly. I'll also be tagging up and playing good old Mr. Valifor Man, the guy that's got Gralgoth's head in a sack at the moment. He's another fighter brethren, although he prefers the two-handed variety. And just for a last, yeah, get some.
What do you think about that, Rachel?
Yeah, we're gonna have to record that and set that to the dice roller. Every time we get a 20,
Yeah.
that's what we need to hear. So I'm Rachel, and I play Elias, the good old champion liberator of Kaylin. And boy, I'm about ready to get some rest. We're gonna be falling asleep. That's about it. And then what happens while we're sleeping? Well, we'll find out. Pleasant dreams, maybe? Or
No, not pleasant.
surprise
I don't
attack?
think.
Who can say? Who can say? You guys will find out either way. So as we focus in here, the companion deep underground beneath the gauntlet itself, right outside of Otari. They're on a quest to find out what's going on with this lighthouse. It seems to be the cause of attacks on Otari. The dead were raised from the cemetery, attacking civilians, guards. It was the companions who put a stop to that. And with the aid of the mayor and Rin Savixi, the companions are heading back to the Gauntlet to find out what is going on. And here they are. They've also got some subquests going on. King Strong, King of the Gremlins. He lives right by the Gauntlet on the upper floors, amidst the ruins. He says, "Oh, come, companions, help me, and I'll give you all the wealth and riches that our clan has. We will bestow them to you if you drive out the mushroom-eyed folk below. They drove us from our home. You can save us, and we will make you rich." Companions took this quest up, as they do. They went deeper in, thanks to a little map drawn by King Strong himself. They went deep underground to the homelands of the Gremlins. And there they encountered and defeated many of these mushroom-eyed people. They were as big as humans. They were just lanky-looking things, bulging eyes, pasty flesh, hair falling out of their head. It was terrible, these poor little folks. But Dane and friends, they pushed their way through and bashed them down and got to their king. The rival king, perhaps, of Strong. King Growlghost himself sat upon his throne made of mattresses and gave a quest opportunity to the companions once again. Defeat the Drake who terrorizes us. Yes, and we will give you wealth as well. Well, the companions set off on that quest. They love quests. And they did indeed drive off the Drake. They didn't defeat it, but they did drive it off. Not sure what to make of that. They delved deeper into the Gauntlet ruins to see what lies ahead. They still have this mystery to solve about what's going on here. They really don't know. And they went back to King Growlghost once again and said, "Hey, look, we drove this guy off for you. How about some of those riches you were going to bestow upon us?" Well, he refused, got very angry, insulted, in fact, attacked the companions, and they attacked back in return. It was a brutal fight. Prior to this, the companions did have a brutal fight with an undead giant creature of some descript, and they defeated that, but it was a close fight. They came right out of that and right into a combat with King Growlghost. That was back and forth. Turns out Growlghost was indeed a powerful spellcaster. But he was cornered by the companions and defeated. Valifor stepped forward. The other companions' backs were turned. He severed the head of King Growlghost, picked it up and put it in a sack. "Now we have the proof," he said. And off the companions went to the surface, to King Skrong, to claim reward, fingers crossed. Or perhaps they'll have another head to join Growlghost. But it wasn't an easy trek back. They were ambushed in the hallways where they had originally entered into the lower grounds here and fought a little battle. They also met a new companion, a new adventurer named Kai, who seemed to be a very devoted champion of Iomedae. Befriended each other, joined up, fought a little bit against these creatures, these mushroom-eyed creatures, and won that battle and said, "You know what? We're gonna take advantage of where we are now. These little vacant rooms we found, and we're gonna spend the night here and rest up because we need it. They're looking a little bit haggard. They did a lot of healing and that kind of thing, thanks to the champion and some bandaging up. You know, they did quite a bit of healing, but they're still looking a little ragged. And they're about to begin some rest, much needed rest, before they head up to the surface and probably talk with King Skrong. And everybody gets one hero point to start the session. Make sure you got that one hero point. Kyle's going to be playing Dane, and he's also going to be running Valifor, who won't be joining us tonight. Patrick is with us tonight as well. He'll be playing, I was going to say Mary Andel again. Maggie, we call her. The Barbarian. Who is in fact another companion that recently joined the group. So we'll learn a little bit about her tonight. And Kai is present, but he'll be joining us later in the session. Until that, I'll be running him kind of in the background. And I think that's it. Currently, the players, or the characters, have kind of situated themselves. Oops, that door's locked. 2 per room, as you can see on the map there. We've got Kai and Elias in the southern chamber. These are little 10-foot square areas, pretty much nothing in there, but old, abandoned rooms that obviously seem like bedrooms. There's like bed frames in there. Very old. The creatures weren't using these for any purpose, so the companions decided to use them for their own use, sleeping in this case. The northern chamber, we see Valifor and Maggie. Magnolia. The players have set up watches. We'll go over that one more time. Dane is on first watch. He's standing outside the hallway. I'm going to assume the doors are open for you guys. If you want them closed, let me know. I need to know a couple things. Number one, what are the watches? Everybody will be watching for 2 hours and 40 minutes. No, 40. 2 hours, I'm sorry. 2 hours on the button. To get your minimum 8 hours, it's going to take 10 hours. Looking at our chart here. For 5 characters. So yeah, you're going to be spending 2 hours on a watch. So who's first? Everybody's going to have a watch. Dane, you're first. Who?
Yes.
Okay, who takes second watch?
Maggie will.
Okay. Third,
Maggie, Elias will go.
Elias, Valifor, and Kai. He'll take the last watch because he's the newest member. And watches again are about 2 hours long. Now, torches. You're all human. You can't see in the dark. You have an ever-burning torch. Or at least Dane does. Are you going to trade that off to whoever's taking watch? Or are you going to put the torch out? How are you going to handle the torch situation?
I can just pass it off to the next person on watch. Sort of unwrap it from the shield and rewrap it once we all get rested.
And you're standing outside in the hallway?
Yes, sir.
Right about that position?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, we'll cover your watch first. All right, so that's where you want to be for the next 2 hours. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Dane? Describe for me what this looks like. Your friends have just gone to their rooms. The doors are still open. They can probably see some of the light coming through. But I want to focus on you. What are you doing? I see where you are. What's going on with Dane as he spends his first 2 hours on watch deep underground as his friends catch some sleep?
Yeah, Dane's gonna keep a vantage point. He's put his sword away, but he's keeping the torch strapped to his shield. And he pulls out of his pockets a medallion of some sort. And he sort of studies it and keeps watch. Listening as much as he can, trying to be as quiet as he can. Although I bet some people are snoring by this point.
Okay, and you're right about at the head there. That.
Yes.
Okay. The first hour passes in silence. You hear nothing. That is until you get into about halfway through your second hour of the shift. You hear what sounds like sounds like footsteps coming from the west, from where you originally came.
Dane will stand up and tuck the medallion back into his pocket and draw his longsword. I guess start heading down that way.
You're gonna head down off to the west.
Just a little bit. Just till I get, past the rooms the way I've got the entire group to my back.
Does this look right?
Yeah.
You make your way down the corridor, checking each of the rooms. You've left all the doors open and you peer inside the rooms. Must have been a squeaking door or something. The door in front of you is closed, however. What do you do?
I will listen.
Okay, you go ahead and make a blind perception roll as you listen at the door.
Here we go.
Silence. You hear nothing. It's absolutely stone quiet.
Yeah, but I'll peek through.
Okay, I open the door for you. You don't see anything, at least from the initial peek in. You don't see anything. It is dark, and your torch does cast shadows, particularly on the walls closest to you. You'd have to enter the chamber.
I will open the door and step one step inside, just to fully look around, because I don't want to leave the rest of the party.
Soon as you step into the room, there, to your left, it appears you hear a scream and a dagger comes in your direction. You're going to have to roll initiative. Now, let me put you in the combat tracker before you do anything more. You're being attacked, Dane. And he comes at you with a dagger and he lashes at you.
I'm gonna shield bash him right in the face.
Oh yeah, you just learned that move, didn't you?
Yep, I just did. 27 in totality.
You hit. Roll damage, and that's going to be 1d4 bludgeoning, plus your strength. So,
1d4 plus 3. So 4 points of damage in total.
you creak open the door and you step inside, shield in hand with the torch and your sword out and at the ready, I believe, correct? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, and as you step into the room, this creature you've seen before, it's another one of these bulbous-eyed creatures, comes lunging at you from the shadows to your left near the door. And he's got a blade in his hand and he's coming at you, but you manage to hit him hard with your shield, causing a little bit of discomfort to the creature, and he stumbles backwards from his lunge, which he was not able to get to yet. You have 2 more actions.
Going to use exacting strike on the longsword strike.
Okay. He lifts up with his blade.
10.
10. That is going to be a failure, but not for you with exacting strike.
Nope. Gonna do it again. Why? Because I can.
19.
19.
That manages to miss. No, I'm sorry. That does actually hit. You did actually hit.
Then now he's gonna take another 8 points damage.
Yes, he is. As you cut deep into him with your longsword, doing slashing damage. And that's it for you, right?
Yep, that's all for me.
3 attacks. There is a way to make yourself wake up in the middle of a combat for people sleeping. It's a perception roll. I think you take a -4 status penalty. When it's your turn, you can do that. However, before we get to that, I will put you guys in the initiative. Before we get to that, because I'm excluding you from the first round. Before we get to that, Dane, all of a sudden behind you, you hear a scream.
Oh, son of a monkey, here we go again.
You see another one of these creatures, looks a little different from the other one, and he's attacking you from behind. You will be flat-footed to this particular attack. All right, he's going to weigh into you with this big, massive club. And with a series of strikes against you, neither one manages to connect with you. These blows, you're able to dodge them at just the last second, even though you're flat-footed, but you're not now, so let's get rid of that. All right, next is going to be Entitled. The one you attacked initially when you came in the room, he gets a chance to strike at you. He's going to strike at you with his dagger. Now, you're not flat-footed to him because you already went. So, this was a surprise attack, essentially. That's what's happening here. Nope, first one misses. Second one, he's lashing at you back and forth with this bladed, nasty-looking knife. And it's a long knife. And it's going to spend its third action hopping up on the table next to you. You can make an attack of opportunity if you wish.
I will.
Go for it. 18.
18.
That is going to be a hit. Normal damage.
4 points of damage. Measly.
You do get him. Well, you're brutalizing him. He's not looking too good right now. Ouch. And with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let everybody roll their initiative, including Valafor. I'm going to put him in the tracker. Is that everybody? Yeah. Go ahead and roll your initiative. I'll roll for Kai.
I'm gonna try to do that shift click because you said it's at a -4, right?
Yes. Now, when you come up in initiative, I'll allow you to make a perception check to wake up, and you'll suffer a -4 status penalty to this. So I skipped a bunch of people, but we're going to let that go to the end of the round. Valafor will get the chance to do it. So go ahead, Dane. You can roll his perception check. You'll have a -4 status. You can hold down shift when you click that. And just put -4 status. And this can be a public roll because it's pretty obvious if you wake up or not.
$10 in totality. That's... Wait a minute, it didn't roll the -4. Guess that will be a 6, because it didn't roll the -4 for some reason. Valafor's just out. He don't care. He's snoring. He's sawing logs.
Okay. And he was the only one that could have a jump this turn. And we're back to you, Dane. You lead the way. You're in a back and forth combat inside this chamber. Some intruders encroaching upon your little campsite. What do you do?
Dane is going to bellow, "We have company! And they're not the company I was searching for!"
I'll take that.
And then I'm going to launch an attack on the one that I have that leaped across the table. That's a nat 1. I will spend a hero point to reroll that.
You will.
$20 in total.
20. There you go. That will hit. Which one? The one near death?
Yep. For 6 points of damage.
And describe how you finish this creature off as it stands hovering above you with a dagger in hand on this table.
As the creature went to jump up on the table, Dane got a good strike in. He went to face the other creature, and seeing it come through, Dane sort of spun around, caught him with the backswing.
You did. And the body crumbles off the table and onto the floor.
Now I'm going to use Exacting Strike on the only one that I see left. We'll see if we can give him a few pokes. It's a nat 1 once
Oh my
again.
gosh.
Wow.
I told you I was going to get maimed. But it doesn't count as a failure from my multi-attack penalty.
Yep.
So we will do that once again. 20 in total.
Yeah, same thing as before. You do hit.
Okay, and this will be piercing damage. So 6 piercing.
Okay.
Stab him right in the ribs. Little pokey action there.
Your blade sinks deep and it howls. It thought it had you. By surprise, it was upon you, leaping on you, getting ready to bite into you hard, but you were on to him, and you turned around quickly and stabbed. You sunk it deep. Damn. And we're moving on to that creature, and he's going to return the favor. All right, with its club in its hand, it's this nasty big old club. Kind of puts it down, and as it does so, it lunges forward at you with its open jaws. It wants to clamp down on you hard, on your exposed shoulder. It's normal damage. Let's
A
roll some
reactive shield.
damage. Okay.
I'll be at 21 AC now.
Oh, you almost blocked it completely. It's 22.
Ah. I told you I was going to get maimed tonight, guys. I told you.
Okay, let's do some damage. 8 points of piercing damage as he clamps down on your left shoulder that's exposed from your right shoulder as you expose yourself to the attack, biting deep into you. As he lets go and pulls away from you, he brings up the club to strike you. And that is going to be a critical hit. While you were distracted by the pain coming from your sword arm, he comes down hard on your exposed forehead. Doing some critical damage with a club. Thwack! 10 points of bludgeoning damage comes down hard on your forehead. And
Well, I'm not going to walk that off in the morning, I'll tell you.
he's going to try it again. He's going to wail into you with his very successful club attack. He's going to do a backswing. Oh. Let's see. Your armor class is 21 currently.
Yep.
So this is a failure, but he rolled a natural 20, which makes it a success. He's going to do normal damage. This trusty club. Thwack on the other side of the forehead. 8 points of bludgeoning damage. He's just going at it.
I am KO.
You're down?
Yep, I'm down.
Okay, adjust your token. As you do, get rid of the shield. You still got the light going, of course. All right. Now, Elias, you're up next. You're going to make a perception. You won't suffer the -4 to wake up this time, though, because of the hollering and instructions from Dane. So you won't suffer that penalty.
Let's see if I wake up. 18 in total.
You let out a few moans and you toss and you turn, but especially after Dane falls unconscious and silence once again returns. Magnolia, you're up. Same thing. Just a straight up perception check. You don't have any penalty. If you wake up, you'll get all your actions. You woke up. You hear the din of battle. You've heard it many times before, these late night ambushes. You're only partially asleep. You always sleep lightly and keep an eye open, I imagine. You have 3 actions. What would you like to do? Now, if you sleep in armor, it doesn't matter what armor. It could be leather armor, it could be padded armor. It doesn't matter. If it's armor, you will be fatigued when you wake up. You will have the fatigued condition. Anyone who wants to sleep in their armor can do so, but you will wake up with the fatigued condition. It's not a very good condition to have. Or, to get your full rest, no problem, your armor's off. So if you're going to jump up, I say you, because you probably got armor on, Magnolia. Do you have it on, or do you have it off? Off? All right. So your armor class, go to your inventory and unequip your armor, and your armor class will go to what it should be. Okay? That's the same for everybody. If you're sleeping without armor, go ahead to your inventory and uncheck the armor. Unequip it.
Oh yeah, I've got mine unequipped.
Okay. Now, when you're on watch, you can put your armor on. It only takes so many minutes to put it on. It actually takes a long time, but not enough to bite into what's going on. You could be watching and still put your armor on, and then take it off again and go back to bed. You can do that. But I just need to know what you're going to do when it comes to really sleeping. Is it off or on? That's all. So, Dane, you had your armor on, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead, Magnolia. You get 3 actions. No armor.
Yeah, so.
Can't. I can't hear you, but I'll tell you the situation.
Yeah.
You're going to have to spend, I'm assuming you're laying down. So you're going to need you're prone. You're going to take an action to stand up, another action to grab your weapon, and then you have a third action to maybe run out the door, or if you have a shield, grab that. Those are really the only options unless you just want to just bolt out the door. You still have to stand up or crawl.
Magnolia is going to call out to Brett or else
Valafor.
pretty much Valipor and Elias at this point. She doesn't know whether or not they're awake or not. Is just gonna try and rouse them from their slumber.
Okay.
With a quick shout. There's some sort of fight going on outside.
Okay.
Move.
All right. That'll wake up Valafor. He's good. If you want to spend an action to do that, that's one action right there. Valafor will be up. He won't have to make a perception.
Yeah.
So you got 2 actions.
And then she will stand up,
Okay.
begin moving. She'll grab probably her warring flute. That's what she has. Great thing.
Also have your glaive as well.
Yeah, I know, but she's more familiar with the great pick at this point, so it's just sort of like always off to the side, ready to go.
Oh, we all love the great pick.
Yeah.
All right, that's your
And,
third action then. If you're going to pick up your weapon, that's the third action.
Okay.
All right, so think what you're going to do next. You've got Valafor awake. You're reaching down. You got your pick ready to go. You're standing up and heading for the door. We'll pick up on that when your turn is up next. Now we move on to Kai, who's going to make a perception roll. He's going to make a straight roll here. I'll show you guys what he rolled. He got a 14 to wake himself up. And boy, you guys are in the dark here. What's happening? Are we under attack? He reaches over. He grabs his sword, I believe. Stands up. And he's going to make a move action. He's got his great sword gripped in one hand, however. Let's see. Let me move him out here for 10 feet. He looks down the hallway. He can see the torch, and he can see Dane's crumpled body behind the creature. Dane starts screaming, "Everybody, to arms! We're under attack!" And he'll move to this position to block the advance of the creature to get to his newfound companions. But he's still not able to attack. He's got one hand on his greatsword. Valafor is next. Kyle, go ahead and take over for Valafor.
Okay. Valafor, being shot awake, he will spend one action to get up, one action to grab the greatsword that he has, then his final action to step out in the hallway.
Okay. When we're talking...
Still gripped in one hand.
Exactly. All right, let me see. Who knocked you unconscious? This guy here, right? So you're actually where you need to be in the initiative order. So you're good there. I don't have to move you. You will make a... you got to make a death save. Or a recovery roll.
10.
Failed.
Yep.
Failed by 1. So you're now
Now,
dying.
does my dying condition increase if I fail?
Mm-hmm. You become one worse. So you're dying 1, now you're dying 2. Yep. Dying 4 and you're dead. Okay, now we're going to move to that creature. Now, I was going to consult my oracle to see if he continues to lay into you and finish off Dane. But in this case, that's not going to happen because he is completely distracted by the presence of warriors behind him. With club in hand, he hisses. His eyes widen, if that's even imaginable. He moves forward to confront Kai, who stands in his way. He hisses, and he launches into him with his second action, which is a strike. Make his first attack with the club on Kai, whose armor class is... okay. And... oof. He got a critical hit with the club. This guy is a dynamo. Sorry, Kai. 10 points. Kai lets out a scream. Ah! As this creature lays into him with this club. More than once. And he's got one more attack. He's going to do that again. Except he's going to use his jaws and clamp down on him while he's exposed. And that was a miserable attack. So he missed. So he's done. And we're going to go to Elias.
Alright, if I'm still sleeping, so I'm assuming Kai's shouts did not wake me.
I'll let that wake you up because there's been repeated shouts here. So I'll give you the 3 actions and wake up at this point.
Alright.
Just makes sense to me.
I'm gonna wake up.
He stepped
Get
on.
to my feet.
He stepped on you on the way out.
Come on. Just pull the blanket over my head. What blanket? My bedroll. Okay, yeah, I'll get up. I will grab my weapon, and I will head out to see what the ruckus is. Kind of blindly stepping out. I see the light peeking out of my door. And I see Valifor too. And I head towards the noise. I guess I gotta move into the space. And then this way.
There you go. Got it. All right. Those are your 3 actions. You're all hunkered up in the middle of this hallway. It's getting cramped really quick. And all right.
Not again.
Magnolia, you're up once again. It's getting pretty crowded.
Oh, I didn't even notice Magnolia was in that corner because the light's not peering on her.
Yeah.
Oh no.
If that door was shut, you'd be in complete darkness.
Yeah.
I think that's about the best I can do. Maybe like here? I don't know if I can still.
You can move through there and that's a tough one. You can attack through there. I let it happen before, but it's going to be difficult. It's very tight. 3 foot wide door, so that's not much space to operate in with a friend in front of you. You might. Depends on your attack. Okay, so you moved.
Yeah, so that's one action.
Okay. That's 2 actions. Okay.
She's going to take her great pick, swing down on this creature.
All right, so he's going to have an armor class bonus. Is really difficult to hit. So go ahead and make your normal attack with that. You do manage to hit. It was tough, but that little pick come down hard on his foot. Ooh, fatal D12. That's when you get a critical, right?
Yeah.
Man. All right, D10 plus 5, 14 points of piercing damage comes down on this tough little creature. Ah! Why you hurt me? Okay, that's your 3 actions.
Does he actually say that?
No. I do.
Yeah, you're just, yeah.
You hurt me. I'm just your friend. Okay. Finally, Kai.
We've had it wrong the whole time.
Stand back, everyone, says Kai. He changes his grip on his sword and prepares a massive swing. His second action will be a nasty come-down strike on this creature. It's going to be a +8. Let me show you what he rolled. I thought it was green. It's a 19. That's what it is. And that's going to be a hit. He's going to roll some damage with his great sword. He's going to do 16 points of damage on this guy. You guys are brutal. And that blow in particular really come down on this creature. Almost cut him in half. He's swaying. And I believe he's got one more action. He's going to go for it. Change his grip, attack. He's going to attack once again with this great sword because it seems pretty awesome. Stand back. However, this one was not as effective. He only scores a 10, and that one misses, and he's going to be done. So he's raining down pain on this creature, and so is Magnolia slipping in behind him. She did manage to get a shot in as well. This creature is not in great shape at the moment. We have him! We have him! Valifor is up next. The only thing you could do with him moving that token is do a tumble through, and it could end up gumming you up inside that space if you fail with Kai, and you'll both be flat-footed if you fail it. However, if you're successful, you will get behind the creature and be flanking him.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So what do I need to roll for tumble through?
Acrobatics against reflex DC.
Okay, make an acrobatics roll. 11 is going to be yeah, it's a dismal failure. He catches you easily. You tripped up in Kai's square, so your move ends right in Kai's square. Just stay where you're at, so we don't. Yeah, we know where you are. Just stay there for a moment. And your movement ends. So that was one action.
Kind of feel like I have to do it again. I will spend a hero point if this one fails. 20 in total.
20 is going to be a failure, I think. Yes, it is a failure. Very agile.
No, it's not. Okay.
You gonna use hero point or no?
No, not on this one.
All right, in this case, you could move into that room to the left in the south just to get out of that square so he's not flat-footed. That's up to you.
I'll just move in there. That'll be it.
Wrong room.
There we go.
Oh, you want to be in with...
Just so he's out of the way.
That's where Magnolia's standing. Do you want to make her flat-footed? Can't wait. It's...
No,
Go
we'll
to
go
the
into the
other
one
room, the
south.
south room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
south room.
It's too dark. It's too dark.
Oh, all I see is the little rage symbol.
There was much raging. I can guarantee you that.
It's hard to see.
Yeah, but that's going to be it for Valivor.
All right, go to round 4. Wow, Dane, you got to make a recovery check. You need a 12 or greater.
12.
Ooh, you are now. Your dying is reduced by 1, so you're back to dying 1 now. But you're still dying.
I'm hanging in there, guys.
Oh boy.
He sounds grumpier than we do. Why is he the one making the noises? We were sleeping.
He's going to spend a move action, hovering over the body of Dan, slam the door, and out of sight.
Our barbarian doesn't happen to have no escape, do they?
And you don't know where he went, but the light has just went out. You're in complete darkness. Elias, you are up next. As suddenly
I do.
you are huh?
I do have no escape, but I think I was close enough to do anything about it.
You were in melee range.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat real quick. We'll see what happens.
It's a reaction. You keep pace with a retreating foe. Stride up to your speed, following the foe as a reaction, and keeping it in reach throughout its movement until it stops moving, or you've moved your full speed. You can use no escape to burrow, climb, fly, or swim instead of stride if you have the corresponding movement type, which you don't. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Do you want to follow him?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so glad you have that.
All right, let me open the door so I can see. You squeeze your way in front of Kai. There's 5, 10, 15 to the door, and that's where he stops. He takes another action and shuts the door. Now, at this point, he's out of sight. That's your reaction. That's as far as he went. That's where he stopped, and then he used a brand new action. So that's as far as you got. And then everything went black, and you walk into a door. You happy with that?
Yeah. Did Dane not bring the torch with him?
He had the torch. He's on the other side of the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I am KO, guys.
All right.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yes, you get your 3 actions.
All right, I'm gonna delay. Let Magnolia go, and I plan to go right after her.
Okay. All right, Magnolia, you're up. Let me go back one in the initiative tracker here because I moved Elias. So you're up. Now you can take your 3 actions. You're raging.
Yeah.
One thing to keep in
So-
mind when you rage is you can't take any actions that have the mental trait. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be doing anything incredibly smart here.
No heavy thinking. No pondering.
I would, as far as I'm aware, the door is right behind. I'm gonna open the door.
All right, 1 action, open the door. You're good. Where are you, beast? You see the body of Dane sprawled out on the floor, his shield strapped to his arm. The glow of that ever-burning torch fills the room.
At the current moment, I don't see the creature.
You don't see him, you don't see him.
I'm gonna check if perception is a mental trait.
Oh, as in seek and stuff?
Yeah.
It has concentrate and secret as traits. Seek action, so it's not mental. Yeah, you can do it.
Cool.
Perception itself isn't a skill, and it's not an action. It's just a quality you have. Perception is part of actions that you take. For instance, the seek action.
Yeah.
So you're good. You can do it. Looking along the south walls specifically, I'll assume that's where you're looking, where the doors are. Not the south wall, but the west wall. One door is open, the one to the right. The one you came through going into this room just earlier, before you tucked in for bed, is closed. That door on the left leads to that natural cave where you fought that creature and met Kai.
So the door, like above Dane, is suddenly open. It wasn't open before.
I believe that door may or may not have been left open.
That's the way we came back into the chamber, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the way you came back in before you went to bed. The other door is the one you went in initially. Actually, you weren't with the group at that point. Anyway, this is what you see. The one door to the right is open. The one in the south portion of the wall is closed. So you moved, opened the door. Seek is an action, so that's your third action.
Or was that my reaction?
No, that's your action. Seek is an action. You took the time to sit there and look carefully before you do your next move. So
I think the first action was opening the door, and then second action was to seek.
That's right. That's right. There was no movement.
Yeah.
So you have one more action. Sorry, Patrick. All right, so you move into the room to open the door, right?
Yep.
Okay, you're done. Les?
Man, I was really hoping that it'd still be in that darn room. I'm going to rush. Alright, 2 movements. I'm going to get here, and I'm going to use my lay on hands on Dane.
Okay, use your focus point.
Yep, I casted it. And then you can just click heal.
There you go, Dane. You got 6 hit points. All right, got 6 hit points. You are dying or wounded 1. Kai. He's going to change his grip for an action. He's going to root through his backpack for a second action. He's going to grab a torch for his final action. And he doesn't say a word. Valifor, you can look out into the corridor and you can see what's going on. You got clear vision to Kai. You see him rooting through his bag. You're not sure what he's up to. You get 3 actions. What do you do?
Okay. Valifor will step out into the corridor and begin link up with everybody else.
You stand at the doorway and you're looking down at Dane. You can see, peeking around the corner, Elias is there, and also Magnolia. They're both in this chamber. Magnolia's looking around at these rooms. She's trying to eagerly get to something. She's probably chasing after that creature. Anything else?
Valifor will follow Magnolia and give chase as well.
All right, you can move into the room, get adjacent. Letting her lead the way. That sounds appropriate to me. Okay, going to go to round 5. Dane. You come to conscious, your eyes open. You're not sure what happened. You've got lumps on your head. You're feeling pretty bad and in pain at the moment. But you look over and you see your friend Daniel. And you're very appreciative. You reach out to Daniel.
You're not Maria. Dane will roll over, grab his longsword, and stand up.
Okay. 2 actions. Tunk, tunk. And you got one more? Right, you got the light going again in your hand. Yeah, you got one more action. Grabbed your sword, stood up.
Oh, my. I guess I'll search the fallen creatures, or the fallen creature that I killed, I guess.
All right, you reach down at the body. Perception roll. Blind. You find a little pouch besides a club. You do find a little pouch as well. It's got a familiar sound, a jingle, the jingle of coins. You carefully open it up and you look inside, and there's indeed some coins. You found yourself, nothing special, 6 copper, and also a broken tooth.
Dane will toss it to Elias. Here, heads up. As that is it for me.
Magnolia, you're up. You're at the door. You have 3 actions. You opening the door?
Yeah.
Okay. You see the light immediately hits a portion of the wall to the west, which has a big gaping hole in it, enough for someone to fit through and walk into.
Like human-sized hole or
Yes.
like tiny-sized hole? Okay.
Human-sized. Okay, you open the door. That's what you see. Do you want to step inside? You want to peer around? Let me bring you in just a little bit to simulate you peeking through the room.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't really see anything. There's no torch.
Like, take 2 steps in.
All right, step into a darkened room. You're not sure how big it is, but you do see that gaping hole in the western wall. The torchlight does shine in that direction. Dane has the light, so it's right behind you. So, you're stepping in?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna step in.
Okay.
So, people start falling behind me.
I have a question.
I'm just gonna wait for right now.
Okay.
So, that little dude that's on my screen, did he join at the top of the round, or was like he always there? Because if I had seen him, I would have asked to get like a free action, just go this way.
Oh, well, hello. I'll see ya.
Okay.
No, he's just there for comedy relief.
All right.
No, ignore him.
Okay. Now, I do notice that the door up ahead is closed, and I can't remember if we closed that, or I thought we agreed we were going to leave all the doors open. So Elias is going to just head north to open the door.
Okay, 1 action to move.
And I open the door as my second action. But I don't have any more torches left. I forgot to grab one from Dane. He's going to head back to that exact same spot. I can't see anything up ahead.
All right. Kai's going to hold his position in the back, double gripping his sword. He's watching. Valafor follows in closely behind Maggie, And at that point, we're going to end the encounter because you've all pretty much paused to the point where if you were pursuing something, it's long gone. At least it seems to be. So let's end that encounter. All right, so whatever it was that was attacking you, one of them remains here, soundly killed. The other one has escaped. Even though Magnolia was hot on its trail, she couldn't keep pace with it, and it disappeared into the blackness, perhaps down that hole, maybe out the door which Elias walked through. Who's to say? So, what do you do?
That got interesting in a hurry.
Magnolia is going to walk up to Dane, still raging, and slap him across the face.
He's only got.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. He's got 6 hit points, and he's still going to be on watch. So.
24.
24.
Yeah, that'll hit.
24 is a normal hit.
I choose to do minimum.
No.
Okay.
Non-lethal damage.
Even he is in a room, so
what are you hitting him with?
Just like open hand.
All right, so
I was just using unarmed.
All right, that's non-lethal to begin with, so there's no penalty. So yeah, you hit and roll your damage.
She's just expressing her feelings the best way she knows how. Oh my god, I just healed him!
All right, now, can Elias do something about this liberating step?
I'm gonna use liberating step on my own companion friend here.
All right, go ahead.
I shall do so, and he'll only take 2 damage instead.
2 damage, Dane. And describe how this looks to everyone, Magnolia.
So, I think at this point, like, Elias is, like, helping Dane step up, and he's, like, I don't know, like, using his long sword. At this point, just comes back into the room, looks around briefly, just straight up walks, and just smacks you across the cheek.
What is this for?
She shoves her finger into the center of your chest and goes, "Never run off by yourself. That is how you die. You will die alone, doing such stupid acts."
First of all, I didn't run off. I'm right here. I'm literally a spitting distance from you guys. And secondly, you're all just as tired as I am. I'm a soldier. I'm trained for fatigue. It's okay.
When we came here, your pride as soldier got you knocked down. Had we not been alert, you would maybe worse, unconscious until we wake up, if not die.
That's what it is, so be it. I yelled out for you guys.
Elias takes out something from his backpack. It's small and metal. He shines it on a little piece of cloth exposed on his, armor. Or he's not wearing his armor, so on his pajamas. And he hands it to Dane. It's a signal whistle.
I
Sure, you'll
bellowed
wake
quite loudly, and you guys didn't wake.
If anything should come up, now I'm not blaming you for what happened. I know I'm a heavy sleeper. Real heavy, as I was the last one to wake up. But this is a backup, just in case. We can all use it. Sure, we'll wake up half the creatures, but, at least we'll be awake ourselves.
Very well, I will take it. Yes, Magnolia, for the record, I did yell at you guys. Nobody came out fast enough.
Well, did you give him the little whistle?
It's a signal whistle.
All right, let me drag that to a sheet.
I have something for you as well, Elias.
Oh, boy.
Elias will rummage.
Oh, he remembered my name.
Dane will rummage
Yes.
through his bag, and I saved a short sword from one of those little blue gremlins that we killed so long ago. Here. Dane will pass it off to you, Elias.
Elias accepts it. Ah, finally, something to do more than a little poke. Something to slash with.
Now,
Thank
do
you.
you
I'll
know how
hold
to
on to
use
this
it?
for later. What? Does he know how to use it?
Do you need lessons? I mean, I can provide battle lessons for advanced techniques if you like. Valifor's just going back to bed. He just walked past everybody, says, "I'm going back to sleep. I'll see you guys in the morning."
And he shuts the door behind him when he does so. And just as he walks up into the corridor, light hits his face from the opposite direction as there, approaching with torch in hand, dragging his longsword or his great sword, is Kai, your newest companion, who stands guard at the top of the corridor. My friends, what happened? Did you finish them? What happened?
One of them got away.
We have to be careful then.
There was two. I killed one. One got the drop on me.
Maybe we should move. If he got away, he'll alert the others if there is more. We did defeat their king.
Should we leave now and go back to Strong, get our reward, and then leave? Back to Atari?
I'm granting you 1 hour.
Maybe.
I'm granting you 1 hour of sleep, and that's about it.
Dane, I don't think you're gonna make it with you in that condition.
I'm fine.
I know you say that, but I've known you for a week? A couple days?
About a week.
I've known you for a week now, and I can already tell you're the rugged type that's just gonna lie right to our faces saying you're okay. I can see you're not doing so well. The heavy breathing, but you're putting all your weight on your sword, using it as a cane. I think we're gonna need...
I'm not an invalid yet, Elias.
Well, you were! Maybe not get some full sleep, but we definitely gotta rest an hour, and I'll call upon Caden to aid us before heading forth. Because it's clearly not safe to sleep this deep in the gauntlet.
Yes, and I could use my healer's tools to patch me up.
That's a fine idea. Let's gather closer together.
Let's assemble and then rest for an hour and then be on our way.
Oh gosh, Magnolia is double raging.
Whoa, my!
Her rage increased. She must be really upset.
Stop raging me.
I'll do whatever you want. Don't hurt us.
Let's sleep. God.
She's getting cranky.
Oh,
Give her some coffee, she'll be fine.
But you've gathered towards your sleeping chambers, still unarmored. What would you like to do?
I guess the plan was to sort of rest for an hour and heal and then pack up and go, I guess?
You want to do some healing checks?
I've got healer's tools.
Okay. Medicine.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my armor on and start praying.
All right, we'll start with you, Elias. Go ahead and tell me what you're going to do for the next hour.
So I'm actually going to see if Dane is successful in healing himself first, because I don't know how many times I should be laying on hands with him.
All right, Dane, go ahead and what are you doing for this next hour?
Using healer's tools, bandages, the old school way.
Medicine check. public. DC 15 to get 2d8.
15.
You got it. You get 2d8 back. Roll it and apply it to yourself. All right. 10 points. What are you going to do, Magnolia? You get a little wounded. If you have healer's tools, you can go ahead and do that. You could borrow Dane's and make a healing check. You have to be trained in medicine to do it.
Here, I can do this. Oh, I am trained.
There you go. Go ahead and make a medicine check. I'm sure Dane will allow you to use some of his bandages, but you're running out. But go ahead. Nah, this could be public. You need a 15 or greater, and you failed. Nothing happens. So for the next hour, you can't be treated with that anymore. Go back to Elias. Do you want to lay on hands for Magnolia, or do you want to wait? Valifor is in similar condition.
I'll heal
fine, it's
Kai.
okay.
I'll heal Kai once. That's 6 hit points.
Okay.
I'll heal Dane 3 times. So that's 18 hit points.
I'm full.
And Magnolia, I'll heal once. And then that's it. And I still have my lay on hands focus point, and that's 60 minutes for me.
All right.
So I healed 5 times.
That looks good. I think Valifor, let's look at him. Dane.
He's untrained, but I could try a medicine check on him.
All right, go for it. DC 15. It is successful. It is not critical success, so he's going to get back 2d8.
If you want, you can try on me. You know, I didn't heal myself.
And
Yeah, I guess next I'll try on Elias.
medicine check. Half an hour bandaging people, Dane.
Yep, no, this
9.
looks about right.
No. Okay, so nothing was regained. And you're immune for the rest of the hour.
Gotcha.
All right, so healing is done. You're not looking too bad now. What are you going to do next?
Valifor is putting on his armor.
All right, you've done that. You've all got your armor suited up if you want to within that time.
Oh, did you successfully heal yourself, Dane?
Yeah.
That was in. Did you?
Yeah.
Like with your healer's tools?
Yeah, I got a 15.
Alright, then I don't think you need the wounded condition.
Yeah, that's gone.
Much better. I like seeing everyone healthy.
Okay, time has been marked.
Should we head on back to King Strong, deliver the parlay, or the head in the basket, and then go to Atari and get some proper rest?
I say yeah.
See no reason why not.
Valifor has the severed head in the bag at the ready.
Gross.
Looking at your little notes in your little ragged map, Elias, you can find where you currently are situated and find your way back out of this place. Now, to the north, you do see, let me put you there. To the north, you do see this corridor. There's 2 doors on the right and the east. You weren't over here. You don't recognize it, but it is somewhat on your map. The map shows a long hallway beyond, heading to the north. The steps in the chamber from whence you come down to this level should be just beyond that north wall. It's just on the other side of it. Looking in the other direction to the west, you see 2 other doors Yeah, there's two doors directly in front of you, to the west. But directly to the north, not far away from where you currently are, is the chambers that you would first come in, the first couple rooms. Remember that big long table? That second chamber you entered? That's just up to the north. You're really close to it. But it's up here, right here. It should be, according to your map, right to the north of this wall is the room you first entered, where the steps are that lead up to the top surface. Again, these two doors in the east wall where I'm pinging, you've never seen before. Yes, it was hard to find at first, Dane, but then your eyes caught on and you remembered. You looked down at Elias's notes and the map. Although Elias keeps good notes, he didn't remember to make a note about this particular door, and it was a little harder to find. We're going to deduct some time. But you did find it, and you're standing right in front of it, actually. There's a secret door that was easy to see from the opposite side. You push it inward, and it kind of rotates on its center a little bit, and as you peer in, step in, there's this little corridor once again with a door straight ahead in the north. You advance to the door with no problem, and you enter that chamber from much earlier. The big long table with the fancy chair at the opposite end. I'll read it again. A long wooden table sits in the center of this room, surrounded by several wooden chairs. Only the chair to the north seems particularly comfortable, although its cracked leather padding is mostly decayed. And again, it's at this point you realize that this little secret door down here is quite obvious to see from the north side of the wall. But from the southern portion, the portion you entered from, it's almost undetectable. Dane almost totally missed it. But we'll assume you close that behind you. It closes with a clunk. As you slide across the room towards the east, there is that little exit that you remember, according to your little map notes. You step back into this corridor. Nothing unusual, no strange sounds catch your ears. And to the north, the other door, which should lead to the steps and lead up to the upper level.
Well, thankfully this part of the path is easy to follow.
Yes. You make your way up the steps. Nothing seems out of place or unusual from the last time you were in here. And you make your way back in the direction that you came in originally. You're going to the throne room, correct? I'll just take us there if that's your plan. Now, everybody should be back at the drawbridge. You make your way up those steps into that chamber where you met that little gnome character from much earlier on. Follow the southern path across the way, and you continue into that big chamber that had the hole in the floor, where a friend of yours who disappeared, and you recall that incident that occurred. You recall Zion, that little encounter you had with the gremlins here. You were in that chamber. You make your way across that hole in the ground to the double doors, crossing the bridge, and here you are standing before this giant skeleton, where you found a mace. Valifor recognizes it. I believe he passed that on to you, didn't he, Dane? That mace? You currently have it. Mysterious mace. And you come to the throne room. Two doors lie barred before you. Closed, anyway. The threatening persona of this big skeleton looming big and staring down at you, although it's kind of cockeyed and strings are hanging off. It looks like it'd fall apart at any second, but it's there, menacing. What do you do? Valifor steps forward. Enough of this silence. I have the head. I will take it in. And he walks up to the doors, the one on the left. He goes to kick at it, but then he pauses. And instead, he reaches down and he knocks or pounds on the door with the bottom of his fist. We are here. We bring the head. We bring the head of Growlgast. You hear shuffling noises from beyond the door. It's quite loud. Suddenly, one of the doors opens. And this little tiny blue gremlin comes into view. Who are you? He speaks in some strange tongue you can't understand, but I spoke it anyway. He then looks back in the direction from when he came, and he runs hastily back into the darkness. The door is still open. Do you proceed and follow Valifor forward?
Dang bull, yes.
Yes.
You enter into the chamber and stop right as you enter the doorway, and there before you is King Scrong, who again does speak common, and he immediately, sitting on his throne, his hands outstretched, and this is a very rickety looking throne. Not as bad as the Graubalgast one, but this is pretty something else tied with strings and bones and sticks and everything else. Looks like he'd collapse at any moment. He leans and he looks towards Valifor. His eyes widen. You are back.
Yes.
What do you want? What do you want of me?
As
Treasure
promised.
you promised.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you mean?
Raise the head, Valifor.
Valifor looks.
We bring you the head
Valifor
of the king.
Valifor looks back at Elias, turns back towards King Scrong, and just unties the bag, and that just rolls across the floor out of the bag this grotesque looking, pale, ragged looking head, and it just comes and ends right about here in front of this sand pile. Suddenly there's gasps. The three other gremlins that you see, they all look in horror and all stand back. The eyes of Scrong widen at the sight of this head. He grips tightly on his throne. Valifor, you see this. Valifor steps forward, in fact. Now, where is our reward? Says Valifor. He steps forward near the head and puts his foot on top of the head. We expect reward? You said you'd give it to us. Suddenly there's a silence. A dead silence. Scrong looks to the left. He looks to the right. The other gremlin creatures start to take a few steps back. Suddenly, Scrong looks at Valifor in the eyes, leaps up off of his throne and falls prostrate in front of Valifor on the sand, his hands outstretched, and he starts speaking in common. Forgive me! Forgive me! Don't hurt us, let us go! I don't have the treasure to give you! Please don't hurt us! I have nothing! We only want to survive! Valifor stops, pauses, and looks back at you, Elias, Dane. What are you guys doing?
You don't have any treasure.
Well, what do you have?
I have nothing. We have nothing here. We were chased from our homes below. We have nothing. I promise I won't attack Atari. I won't attack. Our plans are done. We will leave. Let us go, please. I ask you. I beg you.
I have a better idea. Dane will step forward.
Let me bring you.
These guys were attacking Atari?
I know my thoughts too. What do they mean? Tell us your plot now.
If you want, everybody could make a blind perception check because you're being kind of observant. Dane, you could make this check, and Valifor. So make 2 perception checks. Kyle, 1 for Dane, 1 for Valifor. The rest of you really aren't involved with this little thing here, so hold on.
Public or blind?
These would be blind. As you turn back, looking and staring at Scrong, you notice something. Something about the things that are set up on the sandpile. This is Valafor and Dane. You both recognize this, especially you, Valafor. The way the wooden pieces, there's like little blocks of wood, some rocks and stuff. It looks like they're set up as if they represent Otari. You could see the big building of the mayor on the top there, the round piece that looks like a wheel standing straight up vertical, stuck in the sand. It looks like there's kind of a coastline to the southern part of it. It looks like it's a little model of Otari. And just then, in this pause, in this silence, Scrong looks up, and he quickly takes his right hand and he swaths it across the sand, knocking over the little model pieces, if you will. They're just blocks, but you do recognize by the size of them and the way they're positioned, this looks like a little layout of Otari. I recognize the wheel, especially the wheel. I mean, it's a round block of wood standing straight up. It's, in case you don't know, the wheel in Otari, it's humongous. It's giant. You've never seen anything like it before. Haven't paid much attention to it, but it's definitely an eye-opener. It's something you have noticed. For those of you that have been in Otari for any length of time. So yeah, you recognize that. Now the rest of you, Elias, Maggie, you're not part of this. You don't know what's going on, but there is this silence, and then Scrong, his arm just starts going over the sand, and it's flying everywhere. He's basically ruining the display, as it were. What do you do?
I have a better idea, Scrawl. I don't have any treasure, but you still have your lives. Dane will look back to Elias. Perhaps they can be of some use.
Are you suggesting we hire one of them? As a
No.
guide?
No. I'm suggesting for our reward, their service should be sufficient for now. Not only to guide us here, but also when we leave, to protect it. Protect the entranceway out of here. That way nothing can march out, and only we can go in.
But how will we convince them to do this?
Dane
Sure,
will
they can say yes now, but will they actually do it?
True. It seems like we're caught between a hammer and an anvil. We have to kill them or let them go.
Also, I'm just gonna try to fill Maggie in on everything that's been happening.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
she kind of gets a gist of what we're doing here. Who are these blue guys?
You think we can use them as scouts alive?
I would like to.
Dane will step forward and put his tip of his longsword right at Strong's nose. Do you agree to these terms? You will serve as our guides for our endeavors in the Gauntlet.
Yes, but as much as we can. You are great, magnificent warriors. We would not get on your wrong side. Whatever you want. Just let us live. Forgive us. Forgive me. We'll do
You
as
have
you
a
ask.
place to sleep, actually.
Yes. You're already on our wrong side by lying to us. There's no treasure. So now you will serve.
Anything you ask.
Wait, I know I'm a little late to this. What was the thing about the attacking?
We were sent to go down below and liberate their home in exchange for payment. Those growl-looking creatures with the big mushroom eyes, as they call them.
Yeah. But they mentioned, I don't know.
We're planning to, not anymore.
Yes, but what was this plan?
Would they? And only 3 or 4 of them are here. In, like some sort of secret army downstairs, maybe? Like what do they have in their home that would have made them rivals to Atari's might? Magnolia will stand next to Dane, look at King Scrum or King Scrum, and so so you slipped up and said you were planning to attack Atari. You care to explain yourself on this, or do we just have to pull the information out of you?
That's an intimidation check. Here's what we'll do. As we attempt this, let's take a short break, 5-10 minutes. Everybody take a break. We'll come back to this and see what happens with intimidation and see what Scrong says. And we're back. Pick up where we left off. You've all gathered in the chamber. You're talking with him. He's cowering. He's laying out prostrate in front of you. And don't hurt us. We don't have anything to give you. We didn't expect you to kill him. You're obviously better warriors than us. Forgive us. And Magnolia has stepped forward, standing next to Valifor at the moment, and has decided to get a little intimidating, as barbarians like to do. If you're there, Patrick, go ahead and describe your action, what you're about to do, if anything.
So, or you mentioned Atari.
Yes, forgive me. I will not carry out our plans. They were mistaken. They were ill-advised. We will go back home now. You freed our homeland. We can go back to our tunnels that were ours.
Oh, if you are not using your plans anymore, why don't you, at this point, she takes her great pick and slams it to the ground next to her feet. Why don't you indulge us and tell us what you had in stock for us? Yeah, like what were you planning to do?
He basically wanted revenge on Atari.
Revenge for what?
Long ago, Atari was founded. 500 years. The town was built, was flourishing. It was literally invaded by kobolds and razed. And Atari would be no more because of that. But there was a time during that dark period of Atari's history where there was mitflits, kobolds, and other dark creatures. They were driven from Atari, of course. are the ancestors of the mayor of Otari, the Minimes. One of which was, just like the great-great-great-great-grandmother of the current mayor, she's responsible for raising up Otari once again and making a flourishing wood lumber industry-based town, as well as fish, the fishery and all that stuff. But it's mainly a lumber town. It's because of the Minimes that happened. And they drove the kobolds and the other creatures away and out. Skrong has sought revenge, him and his kin, all these years. Of course, he wasn't alive back then, but his ancestors were. And they've always viewed it as theirs. And they would drive the humans. He would have his revenge on Otari. That's basically what he's been planning and working on all this time. And that's a lot of information you just got from King Skrong. But he's been sitting here secretly plotting to come back to his homeland and rule over Otari. But forgive me. Such plans were amiss. I do not seek them anymore.
Revenge is not a nice path to walk.
Promises false rewards to hold his end of the parade in this situation.
Doesn't have anything to give you. He's quite adamant about that. Since they got driven from their home by the mushroom-eyed people, they've had nothing. All they have is what's in front of you. And they've been holding out here. Skrong plotting his revenge on Otari. What else is he going to do? He's been driven out of his home. But you've since freed him of that. I no longer seek revenge. My obligation to such is gone. We will go back home. Will you let us go in peace? I will tell you anything else you want to know.
We might require further assistance in the Gauntlet, King Skrong.
What is it you need?
Scouts, should we return to the lower levels. You're free to go back to your home.
He starts to look at his what's left
You
of
must
his...
help us whenever we call.
He basically says, he don't want no part of you guys. They just want to go back down underground and to their original home. For some reason, they were driven out. They don't know where the mushroom folk... Actually, they came from down even deeper. No idea why they chased him out.
Dane, I don't think they're going to help us.
No, they're not.
King, I forgot your name.
Skrong.
King Skrong. Return your people below and see us as allies. We may come asking for assistance later and hope that we can count on you, and we won't bring up the treasure again if you do.
That's what I just said, Elias.
Elias like, I was having a moment.
Yes.
I thought you were explaining that they need to assist us. Like, I'm saying that whatever. We won't make you guys scout ahead, but like if we're desperate, please see us as allies.
Yeah, I will second what Elias says.
He has...
On my honor, I will not harm you.
My word is my honor. And with that, he seems quite satisfied. And they start to gather up their stuff. You see him starting to go off into the nests in the far corners. And I will find my true throne room down below. Come! He raises his hand. Starts speaking in some kind of gibberish you don't understand. Unless anyone speaks Undercommon. What we can say about this situation is that they're willing to help you with any information they have if you let them go. And they want to go back to their dwellings down below as long as it's safe, and they don't seem like much threat at the moment. Gathering up their things, both fearful and excited at once. So what would you like to do?
We did it. We saved the town.
And they'll never know, will they?
No, such is a life of adventurers for us.
This is what I heard as well. But our good deed is complete nonetheless. They can go home and the attack on Atari will never happen.
I guess that's reward enough.
Still prefer gold, but
And all this, and as all this commotion and talking is going on, Elias, something catches your eye above you. You start to look up, and it's just then you recall, where's that spider?
Oh no.
And there, right above your head, you could see the long legs of this very big creature over the top of the four of you, watching, quiet.
Should have asked him if we could keep the pet.
can we use it as
Would
a
it
mount?
obey us? Probably not. What'd you say?
Can we use it as a mount?
I don't think so. You could try.
I thought about it though. It was a good effort.
But it's hovering above your heads, watching. And the gremlins are gathering up their stuff. Scrong is still standing in front of you. At this point, he's kneeling, actually, while the others are doing their thing. And he notices you, Elias, look up and spot his pet.
King Strong, are you planning to take your pet with you when you descend back into your homes?
Yeah, he's hanging out right above you, but he doesn't attack. He's watching. And Elias, you just caught sight of him. He's been moving around up there, you get the sense, watching you. And that's Scrong's pet. He calls him over. Fear not, he will not hurt you. Don't hurt us. That's all he's concerned with. Come. He comes down to the wall, comes down off the wall, and he's now on the next to Scrong. And also during this, you also see more gremlins come out from hiding spots to your left and to your right. And they're all going about. By the looks of it, it looks like you're okay. And if that's all, they're going to make haste and head back down to their home. If you let them.
Dane will let them.
Okay. All right, what's your next move then as they disappear off into the darkness? What would you like to do?
I think we had plans to head back. Sleep in a bed.
Where we're not being attacked by ghoulish-looking monsters and bonked in the face.
Well, that could still happen. But the chances are less.
Yeah, but at least I'd have a few ales in me and I wouldn't feel it for quite a few hours.
That is fair enough. Magnolia, do you have a place in town that you're staying at?
Called it Crook's Nook.
Well, what a coincidence! That's where we're staying. It's a cozy little place.
Rowdy Rockfish.
Oh, wait, the Crook's Nook.
Crook's Nook is one of the 3 big taverns in Otari. It's
There's
the one,
the Crow's Cask.
right? That's the one that has a shrine to Caden in it.
Mm-hmm. That's how I remembered.
Rowdy Rockfish is where you guys are currently staying. It's where you're all grouping and making your plans. You've been there many times. And the Crook's Nook is actually situated on top of the bridge the Osprey River. The Crook's Nook is situated over the Osprey River, which runs through town. And Dane might know this, but you all would if you lived there long enough. But the Crook's Nook has events, games that involve falling through the floor into the river. All kinds of fun stuff goes on there. But I'll leave the rest to Magnolia at her discretion.
Magnolia, so that's my mistake. We're not staying there, but did you want to stop by at the Crow's Cath? No? Rowdy Rockfish, the Rowdy Rockfish. I'll get it. I will get it one day. Did you want to come by the Rowdy Rockfish and stop for a drink? I'd say it'd be a nightcap, but I don't know what time it is.
Okay, so you want to pack up and head to Atari and pick up from there? Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that. I'm going to make a roll here. Here we go. Okay, all is well. Uneventful journey back through the main entrance, the gatehouse, and out through the fen. And on your way onto the Gaunt Road, as it's called, through the woods. And you make your way back, no problem. Okay, so we're about at shortly before sunrise. The sun is just starting to make its presence in the distance. And you see this just as you approach, come within Otari at the cliff's edge and follow the road back down in. It's still quiet. It's early morning here in Otari. Very early. You can make your way to the Rowdy Rockfish or the Crook's Nook, Maggie, whatever we want to go. And those places are usually open early. Yeah, you find your way back into the Rowdy Rockfish. Now, where are you, Maggie? What is your situation?
I suppose I'll tag along with the Rowdy Rockfish.
Okay, let's drag you in there. There you go. You can take a seat right there. And Magnolia, Patrick, I need to know a little bit about your living conditions. I want to take care of that right away. Where you're actually staying and what level of living conditions you're going to have. It's 4 gold pieces a month for comfortable. I think it's 2 for squalor. I don't think you could afford anything better than that. Maybe you can. I don't know. All right, so you're comfortable. It's going to be 4 gold pieces. Do you have that? You have to pay it now. All right, 4. And you'll pay that at the start of every month. One-time thing. And that takes care of all your basic upkeep. You know this. You got Farley Tell. The big question is where? Like I said, you can choose or I'll roll for it. Or I'll let you roll. It's pretty random.
Well, Magnolia started the Crook's Nook. So
Crook's Nook sounds good to me. Crook's Nook, it is. Makes all the sense in the world.
Definitely think we need to go see Ren and update her on the current state of the situation.
Okay. You're doing this, Dane? Anybody joining him? You guys can do whatever you want. You're in downtime now.
Would you like to come with me, Maggie?
I go along.
All right, very well. Let's go.
I'm going to go shopping
Oh,
with my little coins.
6 copper, you're going to go shopping.
Shush, shush. Yes, I'm gonna go shopping. You threw that tooth out, didn't you?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, add mysterious tooth.
Dane, you're going up to Rin Savixi. And who's going with you?
Maggie's going with me, I believe.
Maggie, you're heading your way up there. You're pretty new to Otari. You don't know your whereabouts too well, but you can pick up on all this information that's on the map quite easily and quickly if you just listen, ask around. No need for a check. People are friendly enough to share.
That was the plan. Learn about the town while I'm here.
You might as well. Is your token on this little map of ours? I don't see it. I see Ezrin for some reason. What the heck is he doing on here? Ezrin, get out of here. Get out of here.
I saw that too. I'm like,
What's he doing? All right, we'll put Magnolia joining Dane, walking down through the city streets. Not very active yet, still early. But the Rowdy Wreckfish is open. You enter, you get to your friendly little table. You don't see Brelda, but you see one of the younger human servants come over, and she waits on you if you need anything. They're just starting to get cooking in here. Again, you could smell the meats. You can smell the breads baking. They cook them fresh every day. This is probably one of the few places that offers food that doesn't really focus much on the fish. Every other place you've been and know of, they're big into the fish. You know, they bring them fresh from the sea. You know, they go through the Atari fishery down below next to the shoreline. And there's a lot of fish. It's a big popular food and cuisine here. But not a big deal here. It's one of the few places you can go to have something else besides fish. You've noticed that. And it's very comfortable. Sunlight is starting to pierce through the windows. You can feel its warm embrace as you sit at your favorite table, close to a window. And made your plans for the day. Getting pretty tired. There's going to be sleep time coming pretty soon. You guys are backwards. You're sleeping in the mornings now. I don't know if you know that. Elias, what was your plan for the day?
I'm going to the market to buy a replacement signal whistle so that Dane can keep my old one.
You can do that. You go
It's a
ahead.
hefty 8 copper.
There you go. There you go. You can find one of those no problem here in Otari Market. In fact, you see all kinds of goods. Not all the stalls are open just yet. But if you guys take your time and be leisurely about it before you call it a day and head back to the Rockfish and go to sleep, you can see some of the stalls there in the market are opening up. All kinds of goods that you can buy, foods as well, vegetables, which they're still bringing in. So there's not a lot of people yet. You see one individual towards the north end of the market. There's a big wagon, and there's a big tent. It's got blue and white stripes over the top. And he comes out, and he's this big, burly-looking guy, and he's got skins on him. Pelts he's wearing over his shoulder. And he steps out, looks around, turns back around, and he pulls open an entryway to the pavilion tent that he faces. And he latches up each side. So now there's this walkable entrance into this area where if you peek in, you could just manage to see it. You do see all kinds of pelts and skins in there. And he turns away. "Well met, my friend," he says in your direction as he turns about and heads back in. I assume you reply? Elias?
Give him a cheerful good morning to you.
And he tips his little fur hat, turns and walks into his little room. His little tent room. So you can go ahead and grab that whistle. And if there's something else in your mind you're looking for, go ahead. If you're looking for something specific, maybe it's here. While you do that, we're going to kick on over to our good friend Dane, who has now approached the entryway of Rin Savixi's unusual little abode. It always seemed unusual, Dane, every time you draw close to it. Very occultish, you might say. She has that read the stars type of attitude whenever you talk to her. She's that type of person. She likes mysteries. She likes the odds and ends and weird things. And she's talkative and friendly at the same time. You like Rin, I think. You knock on the door. There's a pause, a silence, no answer. You didn't expect that, did you?
No, I did not.
No answer. She doesn't seem to be home. You kind of linger on the porch here, magnolia in tow. No, she doesn't
Miss
answer.
Savixi, are you home?
There's no answer.
Apologies, Maggie. It seems our trip was wasted for nothing.
She's, from what you can tell, you and Dane are standing on this, like, porch little entryway. You see the door. It's a big wooden door. It's got little star designs cut into the door. It's very different. This house stands out from the others. And it seems like it's all dark inside. The curtains are drawn. And Dane, if you push a little bit in and out on the lock, it is locked. So she's evidently not home. That's your guess, anyway.
Well, that's interesting.
Out of the corner of your eye, Dane, you see a familiar face coming up behind you. Farley? Feel free to introduce yourself, as you've found your friend, Dane.
Soldier from the wall.
And if it isn't the mage from the city, how are you doing? Mr. Farley, Dane will offer a handshake.
So Farley reciprocates it. Well, I'm doing a lot better than you. You look drained.
Yes, took quite a nasty wound. Near death once. But we could have used you in there.
So, Farley, it's only been a couple days, actually, since Farley's been, I wouldn't say missing. He would probably say you guys are missing. He was kind of left behind. He was doing some research and talking with a tutor of his, odd stories and more. Mordablint. He's been spending some time with him. And I won't get into the details right now about what Farley's been up to regarding that little research. All right, but anyway, you're sitting here on the front porch for maybe 10 minutes, and she's not around. And it's then that Farley says, oh, she's never around in the morning. She goes away, who knows? I sometimes think she's in there in her basement meditating. You know elves. I'm one. But, she's usually not around. You would see her in the afternoon, I'm sure. This is what Farley Tell says.
Magnolia taps Dane on the shoulder. That's good. We can get a mention and then come back.
Yes, I think we could all do some sleep. We've been up for what, 8, 9, 10 plus hours already?
Quite a while.
You would have enjoyed this little trek, Farley. It was quite the excursion.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, King Scrong and then the other king, and we fought a drake in the water, and Elias dove headlong into the water in full battle plate, so you cannot say that I'm the reckless one anymore, Mr. Farley.
I think anyone can say that about you.
Reckless, perhaps. But I have a job to do.
Suddenly, rounding the corner ahead, unless you want to do some more shopping, Elias, you appear with bags in tow.
holding my single signal whistle.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil.
I hold up my shiny new whistle and I say, "Look what I found!" I give it a little blow, not like full blast, but just enough so that they can hear. And I give it like a choo-choo kind of thing, like.
Yeah.
One of those, yeah.
And then I just tuck it away in my pocket. Did you guys find Rin?
She's not in.
Oh, I see you found Farley.
Well,
I wave.
Well, he found us. Big difference.
Ah. Well, it's glad to see your face again. Well, I'm glad to see your face again.
yes, you worded that very weirdly, but
I do.
I understand.
It's been a weird day.
I mean, the day's just starting, but certainly.
Ah,
Day's
for you.
almost
I'm
over for
ready
me.
to go to sleep.
Yep,
Oh,
day's
I
almost
see.
over for us. We've been up all night.
Well, I won't keep you with my stories of reading books then. That'll certainly put you to sleep. Perhaps in the afternoon, after you've taken a rest, you can all come back and maybe we'll discuss more.
Perhaps you should, Farley. It might be a cure for my nightmares.
Well, I don't know if that's something you can afford, but we'll see.
I'd be interested to hear what you have to say.
I gotta head back to Mortal, but he's waited longer. Get me out of here.
Very well,
And he
Farley.
runs
We'll
off.
see you later.
Just
Meet
that,
at the Rockfish whenever you're ready.
just that quick. Where'd he go? Mhm. And there's Valafor. He's been tracking behind you ever so cautiously. All right, so what we'll do, we've got, for the first time in a while, we've got all the players in one spot, all the characters in one spot, including some new characters.
I actually think next week I will want to play Althea, and while she's with the party, Elias will be working. He needs money, or he won't have a place to live. So, and adventuring has gotten him 2.5 gold, I think it is.
Yeah.
Just enough to scrape by.
Yeah.
So after he rests, he'll go to work, and I'll be playing Althea. And we can introduce her next time.
Yeah, well, I'll think about that now. You want to...
This way it gives you like a week to think about how to introduce her. Because she should be at the Dawnflower Library.
Ah, okay.
That was the next place Dane was going to head.
Ah,
Oh.
that's convenient.
Yeah, but I think I'll give Arthurian a go next time. The dwarven guardsman from Otari. See if he's going to step in.
Yeah, try something a little different.
And Dane will be at the Dawnflower trying to receive penance.
Oh boy.
Actually, he'll be telling the story of Daniel to Elias.
Yeah, we'll just have you guys... The next session will start off with you guys going to sleep again. And get those 8 hours fini. And we'll carry out your day and introduce the new characters and then just pick it up. So, yeah, that sounds good to me. All right. Excellent. Folks, we're going to end it right here. This was episode 16. Next one is episode 17, and we're going to be back at it again. Hope you enjoyed. It was good fun. So, from me, we'll talk to you guys soon. You guys take care. Until next time. Everybody else, say your goodbyes. In whatever order you want.
I'll go last.
I'll go first. Goodbye. From the crappy microphone I'm using.
Yeah, that sounds viciously terrible. It works, though. It works. And I appreciate it, Patrick. I appreciate you popping in today. Elias? Rachel?
Yes. Goodbye. And hopefully you won't anger the Foundry gods next week.
Oh,
And things will be working smoothly.
it wasn't bad. And Dane, Kyle,
All right, my friends, you know what's coming. Y'all have yourselves a good night. Be safe, have fun, stay dirty. I actually got KO'd. First Pathfinder KO. I'm excited for it. Once again, I want everybody to give Fritz Man a big round of applause for putting together another awesome session for us here tonight to completely play and destroy and be destroyed in. That's also very important. We have to be the destroyers and the destroyed. Very important difference there. And we'll see y'all next week whenever we potentially bring in some new characters to the meat grinder, i.e. the Gauntlet. We'll see y'all then. Y'all have a good night.
Take care, folks. Toodaloos.